Well, to close this week's Changemaker on Sarah's Country, we're going to turn to the arable industry, who are making changes in the way that information is extended to their growers in peer-to-peer learning. And I'm joined in studio by Erica Callaghan, who is the project coordinator on behalf of FAR and the SFFF funded project. I think it's the MPI. Thank you for coming in, Erica. First and foremost, this is a really exciting way that farmers love to learn in groups from each other. I'd really love to start with how you ended up in this particular coordinator role.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Sarah. For me, I've grown up on an arable property and always have been really passionate about the sector. So from working on the farm, my dad didn't want to kind of go through the compliance stuff himself, and then that pushed me into a pathway of understanding how I can help arable farmers with understanding the environmental compliance challenges and moving through that kind of new phase that we're facing in farming. So went from there, supported farmers in that sector, and then this opportunity came up to help get back into the arable sector. So here I am.
Oh, it's fantastic. And what a great way of utilising a problem to do a wider solution to a wider group of growers. So Growers Leading Change is the name of the program that Foundation for Arable Research has co-funded with MPI. What were some of the fundamentals that you modelled off in other parts of the sector when you put it in this application?
Yeah, so it's all about knowledge exchange for our growers, and we've seen in the red meat sector and deer sectors, they've got some really successful frameworks like the Red Meat Profit Partnership, where they've got discussion groups set up across the country. And so we wanted to take what's worked really well within those groups and tailor it for our arable farmers. So we've ended up with our Growers Leading Change program, and a really important component of that is our arable growth groups, which is what the discussion groups are going to be.
So arable growth groups is the name of what an advanced party in the deer industry would be, or an RMPP action group would be.
Yes, yeah, that's it.
Awesome. And so what does it look like, each group, and the size and location, so the arable farmers across New Zealand can learn how to be a part of it?
Yeah, so it's really about being driven by our farmers. So we want the ideas and the concepts to really come from our growers across the country and bring to us what their challenges are. We've got a team of 4 facilitators across the country that are there to pull together the groups, kind of do the grunt work and pulling together our speakers, the program, and making sure that you've got access to the resources that are needed. But we want to get groups together of 8 to 10 farmers. So it's about being big enough to get the sharing of ideas, but small enough that you can have a really trusting relationship and really share some of the nitty-gritty of the business to hopefully impact change.
In your initial discussions with arable growers, what do you think will emerge as some of those shared challenges that they could all learn from each other with?
Oh, it's already so huge. So, we've got concepts right across the country kind of starting to surface, from environmental compliance challenges through to soil health. We've got a group that is looking at adding value to the arable products. So they've kind of diversified off into value add products and pulling together some of those concepts together. So as long as it's related back to the arable business somehow, they're kind of world's their oyster, and we can help shape a program.
So a discussion group, or a group such as Growers Leading Change, do they come together purely based on their geographical location and the way they're farming, or an idea or a concept, so they could be spread across the country?
Could be spread, yeah. So it's we're really lucky in the way that we've had the funding secured, that there's a lot of flexibility for us to be able to make it work for the growers. So we've had some farmers come to us as individuals saying, look, I'm just really keen to connect with growers close to me. We've had some farmers that, like for example, that one about value adding to the products, that's going to be a national group because, they're smaller businesses spread right across the country. And we've got other groups that are kind of based on, it might be like an irrigation scheme catchment sort of area or something like that.
That's fantastic, and congratulations to the SFFF Fund for seeing outside the square, and the fact that there can be different ways of learning. You don't have to learn just within your own catchment, so to speak, because there's different levels and attitudes and within that as well.
Yeah. And the large mix of products as well in the arable sector. You've got some that are wanting to look at more specialised seeds, or some of the groups are based around an agronomic practice as well. So yeah, it's really able to be fit for purpose.
Yeah, and really start to connect, processes with supplier groups that are passionate about, like you said, a particular way of farming as well. Yeah, how very exciting. So a $2.5 million project over 3 years, and you've had a number of different groups come up. So if arable growers are listening along to this and they haven't yet signed up to any groups, there's still a chance?
Yeah, definitely. So given that it's over the 3 years, for the project side of things, we've got a target to set up 8 groups each year across the country. But yeah, through that we're tackling it as they kind of come up. So at the moment we're still in the discovery stages of kind of building the relationships with the growers, understanding where we've got kind of groups to get that we can build together, and just announcing our first lot of groups that we're going to be starting up.
Whereabouts will they be?
Yeah, so we've got 3 groups that we've announced this week. So the first ones off the cab are actually 2 based in Canterbury. So one in the South Canterbury region, and that's looking at grassweed control or grassweed management options. We've got one in Mid Canterbury that is looking at soil health and how soil health can impact the environmental compliance and profitability of the arable business, and then our national group, which is going to be on that value add for small arable businesses.
Fantastic. And there's growers in the likes of Northland and the Manawatu as well.
Yeah.
So it's not all about Canterbury.
No, definitely not. Yeah, it's just those first 2. Our Canterbury farmers definitely are really used to the way that FAR do things and the relationships that we've got there. So they've definitely put their hand up nice and early. But we've got a lot of growers in Northland and Manawatu, also in Southland as well, that we're working with them really closely to flesh out those ideas and pull together a group to make those groups. So hopefully they're not too far off as well.
Awesome. I can see in Southland with the rise of oat milk,
a
huge opportunity.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
particularly the work in Hawke's Bay as well. This is a huge arable industry to lift sustainability but also profitability, efficiencies within your business. So therefore, if there is any arable growers that do want to connect with others, not just within their own backyard, but of course around a particular issue they may be having, how do they go about establishing a group with you?
Yeah, so we've got some great resources available already on the FAR website. So if you go to the FAR website, and then within there's a tab for Growers Leading Change, we've got details on what the process looks like for being part of an arable growth group, what you can expect from the group, and the deliverables and those sorts of things. You can also contact me directly on at erica.callaghan@far.org.nz. Or also linked through the website. There's all our contact details, and we can talk you through the process, understand what your ideas are, and see if we can connect you with some farmers if you don't have a group already established.
Fantastic. This is great to see, and it's a way of building off an existing model of learning that has already worked in other parts of the sector. So thank you so much, Erica Callaghan, the project coordinator there for FAR's new project funded by MPI called Growers Leading Change. And as Erica said, head along to the FAR website, far.org.nz, for more information.
Oh, nice boots.
Yeah, thanks. They're new.
Ben, you alright?
Oh, yeah, sorry, mate. Just meerkatting pretty hard, eh? Yeah, I just said to myself, Ben, work hard. You deserve new boots.